Yeah, cut my hair. Cut my hair dramatically. Yes, I did the thing that people do when they get out of a relationship, when they go like chop off their hair. Totally, absolutely did that. Um, it was kind of emotional. I am making this video because tomorrow I'm going to be seeing a lot of you. And I wanted to, I'm going to be having this casual chat with so many different friends who I haven't seen in a long time. And I figured like you can just kind of come on a drive with me and I can catch you up on what's been happening in my life. And then maybe some of you will watch this video so I won't have to, like rehash all the details. But yeah, I was bouncing back and forth to New York. I was in a relationship and it was amazing. And it was the healthiest and most loving and most supportive dissolution of a relationship that I think both of us have ever experienced. And the question people keep asking me is, am I moving to LA? I intend to. I am not in a hurry. And I kind of like, I have that luxury. I don't have I don't have to go sign a lease. I don't have like a job starting at a specific time. I am ready to relocate and have that energy shift, but I'm looking for like the right opportunity to come up that feels just energetically aligned with my journey, because I am traveling a lot. And like in October, I'm intending to, like I'm manifesting living in Ibiza for like a month. And I'm kind of seeing how I can make that happen because I want to go live with the locals in the off season. And I want to do that with various places around the world. I miss my friends in South Africa and I'd like to go back and stay there for a while. So it doesn't really make sense to me to sign, a lease and pay full rent every month if I'm going to be gone so much. So kind of like staying open to the possibility of different opportunities that could potentially arise living wise. So that's what's happening with LA and San Diego. I am continuing to work all around California. So whether or not I live in San Diego doesn't make much of a difference. And if anything, I've had an interesting experience. The San Diego bookings that I'm getting are more concrete because that's my exit. Because like people know that I'm here, not just like ready to reschedule over and over. So now that I looked for a way to avoid the deep stuff, that's what's happening with work. Intentions to move to LA still exist when it happens, when it feels right. You don't just like flip a button and not be in love anymore. So there have been definitely a lot of feelings processing, and tomorrow is the kickoff for my photography show, Phoenix Syndrome, and it's 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Dylan, whom I refer to as my art husband, is art directing the space, and he's building it out and lighting it up, and our friend Amanda is painting the walls. And it was a little bit of an adventure. We had to all of a sudden shift because it turned out that the port had like leased the space out, and there was a miscommunication amongst the property management and all this kind of stuff. So, but they're Ron with Seaboard Village is just like bending over backwards to make it feel great for us, and he's such an amazing person. And I'm such a deep state of appreciation for him, for Sheila introducing me to him. A lot of this show has just been very like fluidly coming together because it's I guess like where I'm at in my journey. I decided this past year, just made the decision that I'm tired of hard. Things don't need to just be hard all the time. It doesn't need to be this heavy challenge so that I can feel like I've accomplished something. And I know when we're in the middle of those kind of experiences, like we think we have no control over how those things are happening, but I'm at a place in my journey where I do feel that we have more control over those vibrations than we are willing to admit. So that I made the decision that I'm done with that, and it's been just flowing together. I've been processing a lot of feelings and emotions because there's a lot of different transitions and energy happening around this photography show. This would have been the weekend that my San Diego family and friends would have really met my partner, but it just was not in the stars. So there's a lot of feelings around that, and then there's of course feelings around the pieces. As soon as I picked up the prints, it was a pretty emotional experience. Hair looks, I'm pretty happy with my hair, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of messed up right now, but I'm pretty. It's funny, by the way, I my dear, lovely, amazing friend Sean at first cut my hair. So if you see this, this is what happened. And he actually crushed it. He did exactly what I asked him to. The next morning I woke up and I looked at my hair. I'm like, yeah, it looks great. Next couple of days I looked at my hair. I'm like, yeah, it looks great. He did exactly what I asked him to do. And then I started to feel this intuitive call to go and experience having it cut by someone who I don't even know, because everybody who's ever cut my hair has been somebody that I've connected to somehow through social circles and stuff. And this is of course not a complete stranger, but David Valencia at V Collective, I just kept feeling called to go see him, and I did. Bunch of synchronicity happened. I ran into mutual friends, blah, hippie stuff, and I ended up seeing him, and it was an amazing experience because as a hairstylist, he approaches his hair clients the same way I approach my photography clients, which is I will say no. If I'm feeling the vibe is not right, I'd rather just we don't work together. I set the prices higher because I am filtering people out. Fun side note, for whatever reason, law firms, I don't know if it's just lawyers or legal culture or whatever, some of the cheapest people I've ever met in my entire life. I'll give them the dopest deal for everybody in their firm for headshots and stuff, because I'm doing a favor for the person that reached out to me. And then they're like, it's too expensive. I'm like, are you kidding me? Have somebody with their iPhone do it if it's too expensive. Jeez. But it feels good to say no. It feels good to be in that professional headspace to be able to say no. Because one big thing I've always said with headshots specifically, if you don't want to do it, if you're stuffing it into a minute of your schedule, it's probably not going to come out good. You're probably not going to like it. I've done a lot of these. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he handles hair the same way that I handle my photography clients, and so we just really vibed. And he used to be a circus performer. He was born into it. His family were circus performers, and then he moved here, and now he cuts hair. And it took 2 hours by razor blade, chopping away bits and pieces of energy. So that day I picked up my prints, getting my hair chopped off, processing all of the feelings. And, here it is. This person in front of me just cut off this bicyclist, and he did what the hell? I know, dude. Guy was a dick. Yeah, so I just picked up some new clothes. I felt like I was ready for just this refresh of energy, and the show feels good. I feel like it's all coming together pretty peacefully. Dylan's amazing. We have such a great vibe. It's not going to feel like a stuffy high art experience, because I just don't feel like my work. I just didn't feel like it was quite there. It feels like me. The energy feels like me. It's warm. It's welcoming, and I'm setting up the. As people keep asking me, are you selling the prints? Yes-ish. if people are interested in purchasing, I'm going to have a conversation with them about giving me an offer. And the way it's going to work is they can make an offer to purchase that piece right there on the spot, and then that determines the price of the piece if I agree to that offer. And then what I'm doing is every time somebody else purchases it, it goes up 10%. So I'm not just going to have like unlimited prints available, because I don't want to keep selling the same photos forever. I'm ready to move on to a new space of energy. And this is some of the stuff that I'm sharing with you right now are like important things I learned from my partner. So I add to the list of things that I feel so much appreciation and gratitude for having had her in my life. So yeah, it goes up 10%, or a person can potentially make a big enough offer to lock it in, and I'll never print that piece again. And I'm ready to do that. And if anybody prints those pieces, they would be doing it without my permission, so they would be like knockoffs. So that's how that's working. The event is going to be 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. officially. 2 to 4 p.m. Jamal Kursi is spinning, and he's one of my favorite DJs. Of course, he's an amazing hip-hop DJ, but he's also one of my best friends. And he's a criminal defense attorney and immigration attorney. And then between 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., my old partners in hip-hop platform collection, they have a block of live performances happening. Roots. Yazi is headlining that, and I had the opportunity to direct her. Is this shaking? I hope it's not shaking too much. I had an opportunity to direct her for a live stream thing. Yeah. So it's that's the live performance block. We're still kind of tweaking some little details around that, and then afterwards, we'll get into the Unz DJs, the dance music stuff. Eric de Guzman is spinning for 2 hours, and he's amazing. And then Navjeet, my brother, is spinning for 2 hours, and it's gonna be a good party. It's open to the public. It's free. I wanted to throw a big community party. This is my town. This is where I grew up, and I wanted everybody to feel invited and included. So it's open air. We're back. The world's kind of opening again, and anyway, lots of feelings, lots of processing. I've had some moments. But I do trust that I am where I'm supposed to be, and everything's happening the way that it's supposed to be, and nothing is permanent. We make decisions based on what we're experiencing right now, and then we take a few steps forward and see what happens tomorrow. And at this exact second, I'm driving to El Cajon because there's a comic shop there, and I want to look at some solutions, because I really want a part of the photography show to be that people can hand prints back and forth and like physically hold them in their hands. So I'm looking at using comic book sleeves potentially. So I'm going to see if the sizes work out. And I have my friend Dennis Michael is coordinating the show, or coordinating the live event stuff. Navjeet is stage managing. I mean, I have like a whole team. Kara and Richie who do logistics for like Desert Hearts, or like helping with the event. Like, my friends are dope. I have a lot of professionals on top of this thing, so I get to really let go and be present. I have an amazing network. I have an amazing community, and this whole thing's going to be kind of a soft relaunch of the Justified Hype energy. Justified Hype is a creative collective that I founded, and then we did some stuff for a year, and then lockdown happened, and then everything quieted down, and we all went inward for a while. But now we are ready to kind of get relaunched. So after I'm done with this 2-week photography show, it's going to be 2 weeks. We'll be open from noon to 8 p.m. and I need as many friends as possible to come hang out, because I'm going to be hanging out there all day. So come hang out, come co-work, bring your laptop. So I'm doing that till July 10th. And then after that, I'm driving up to LA. On the 13th or 14th, I'm interviewing Scott Page. He's a touring guitarist, studio guitarist with Pink Floyd for Burner Podcast. That's a pretty big one. And then hanging out with my friends Kim and Phil in Pasadena, and we're going to be working on Just Fight Hype stuff. So that's the plan. I'm going to be in Austin in September. I was planning to come back to New York in August. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet. It feels like, when I think about it, I don't know if the energy feels there yet. I do need to create some new memories, or I intend to. But right now it's a little raw. Anyway, that's what's going on. I would love to see you tomorrow if you are in Southern California, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Please show up earlier. Don't wait all the way till the end. And I have like these $5 parking passes for the first 50 people who show up. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be energetic. And I'm going through kind of like releasing these old pieces from my life. You know, Phoenix Syndrome, the idea, the name behind it, came to me in a kind of a deep depression that I experienced not too long ago. And I was in this very kind of like dark night of the soul kind of experience. And, you know, I'm like, it's this reborn thing is happening. So, Phoenix Syndrome, like, am I addicted to getting reborn? And it's going to eventually turn into a podcast. I'm exploring, like, collecting all the notes and stuff about it, but I'm starting a new podcast, and they're going to be, it's not going to be interviews like Burner Podcast. It'll be like mini-series about different topics, and the first one is going to be Phoenix Syndrome, and it'll be about the experience that led up to this show, and the clearing of old energy and moving into this next chapter of my experience. Nothing is permanent. I'm wide open to all the different ways that the universe is going to surprise and delight me. All relationships are eternal. All of them. They transform. They change. They evolve. I learned a lot of huge lessons. I feel elevated. It's like chopping off my dreads. Somebody said that. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I hope to see you tomorrow. It's gonna be amazing. If you're watching this after, long after the video, it's quite all right. Message, reach out. I really appreciate these connections. You know, my ex and I used to say, like, it's, you know, it's like Neil Gaiman had said, it's like as an artist, it's like you're sending out messages in a bottle. That's what we're doing. Every podcast is a message in a bottle. And then I get a text from my friend in Phoenix who's listening to the latest episode of Burner Podcast, and he's really appreciating it and saying, it's like we're having a conversation. And this is one of those things, you know, I'm sending out a message in a bottle. So, I love my community. I love you. And let's see if I figure out what to do with these loose prints.